やすみ。 Whedon Sun, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Also, Diagnosed, I can see you are the first. However, you were going to be here anyway. So, I don't see why you need to brag about that. Anyway, good morning, good evening, afternoon. Welcome to the show. Hang on a second. I almost forgot. Whedon Sun, it's your first time following, first time here, so you get an obligatory blow on the horn. Why does that sound weird? That one sounded better. What's up with this horn? You're new who? Extern. Hang on. This is a new horn. What is up with this one? What the heck? Let's try this horn. Do they all have different sounds? These are a different colour from the other one I had. How strange. Well, we can figure that out another time. I didn't break it. They're brand new. Those are brand new horns. You can get a little pack of them. And they were brand new. But alas, it wasn't working. What an odd sound it made. I guess I'll have to use the old ones. Hang on. You break things in the back? No, You're a dick, you know that? Hang on, wait 1 second. Okay, yeah. Oh, hang on, actually, 1 moment. I'll get on VC in just a second. Return to shadow now, never Buster. I was in the shadows for far too long. Now all I want to do is feel just a moment of being alive. An impossible feat, I assure you. But, nevertheless, here we are. Thank you for the fart, I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, hang on, let's get on VC then. Impossible. Could it be? Hello?
Hello?
Howdy do. Hang on, where's your Fugi on here? Where is your Fugi?
What?
You got a little thing, it's called a... here we go, hang on. There you go, you're on my screen now, in the bottom corner.
Oh yeah, I gotta get one of those made. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, welcome to the show, folks. I'm Elijah, this is Diagnosed. We're going to do a quiz today. So, for Diagnosed, I have taken the liberty of making a PowerPoint presentation. As predominantly a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I will be questioning Diagnosed on his general card game understanding to figure out whether or not these Digimon cards... Hang on, wait for it, hang on, wait for it. Made for it. Made or missed the mark. There we go. We got it eventually. Yeah, we did it, boys. We did it. Look at it go. I put a lot of work into this PowerPoint. Hopefully, it shan't be for naught. But yeah, I was meant to be stalling for longer, but I guess you arrived quicker than we thought. So, never mind. I thought I'd do more of a get to do actual preamble instead. I was just finishing the last bits of setup before you arrived. But you know what? That's okay. Because we're here now, we're queer now, maybe we are actually, I don't know about that last one. Anyway, Diagnosed, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing alright.
You sound really tired.
Get this. What?
You sound tired.
This is the first time I'm talking since I woke up, so...
Oh, I see. Come on, man, you gotta wake up. We're talking about Digimon. This is awesome.
I'm awake. I'm awake. This is the first time I've used my vocal cords today.
You know what?
There's a difference.
You know what? Fair enough. Anyway, Diagnosed, would you be kind enough to give the audience your experience with the Digimon card game so far? If any. I know you do, but mate, if you can give a brief summary.
I played it once.
Excellent. How did you find it? Great answer. Love to hear it.
No. Wow, cut me off, jeez.
Love to hear it. No opinion on it. Good stuff. Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, so your main game is Yu-Gi-Oh, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and last time we did this, you looked at one of the other big Yu-Gi-Oh versions, Yu-Gi-Oh Rush Duel, which you did pretty well on, honestly, except for some things. This is fairly new territory for you, so we're going to be having a look at this. However, in the name of fairness, I have taken the liberty of giving you some rules and some brief explanations of the game. So, I don't know if you're watching my screen now, but we do have the PowerPoint I've made on screen. So, for the rules for this game, we'll be looking through sets 1 through to sets 15. That should have been set 16 even. My apologies, because I didn't end up putting in any set 17 cards. That's one of the more recent sets, and I didn't feel like it would be fair to put them in when there's still a chance that they can change up in the usage and everything. Anyway, so
Jeez.
yeah, so we're gonna be using card info. You got to gauge whether a card made a mark in the metagame or missed the mark. I generally say made or missed the mark because something important is that. Well, actually, hang on. Before that, just keep in mind we are looking at the entire history of the game up until now, and I'm going to be counting a card as having made a mark.
Year.
Sorry?
Which is only like a year.
I got 3 years now, 4 years now. I think it's his 4th year now, actually, which is wild. Time's gone by because it started in COVID. But
it's just a baby game.
yeah, I know, right? It's still like a little baby in the grand scheme of things, yes. But no, what we'll be doing is we'll be counting a card as having made its mark if it has done it at any point in the game so far. Because much like with Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't think it's fair to say that a card is bad if it's been historically very good, but it's just not used at the moment. Like, Mirror Force is a generally good card in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it doesn't see much play at the moment, but I don't think it would be fair to call Mirror Force a terrible card, you know what I mean?
Oh, in modern day, it is a terrible card.
Well, yeah, but in general, it's had a really tumultuous history of being probably too good for the game at some points.
Yeah, I mean, in the GOAT format.
Yeah.
Old school, like 2010s. When it was just level 4-star beat sticks.
You can still use Mirror Force as well, and it can still. Listen, if you pulled out a Mirror Force and someone, they'd be like, "Wow, I didn't expect that at all," and then they'd just lose. Anyway, that's beside the point. We're not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Actually, no, go on, sorry.
I was just gonna say, they'd be like, all of my cards are unaffected by your spells and traps.
Okay, yeah. God, isn't Yu-Gi-Oh a great game? It's great.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, if I get talking like that, I'm going to get into a massive rant about Yu-Gi-Oh and how it's a bit of a mixed bag, but anyway.
Then talk about humanoid-looking digital creatures.
Yeah, let's go. Also, yeah. One thing to note here is that Digimon is a game which has been made from the ground up with a lot of modern card game design choices. Meaning that cards aren't necessarily bad if they have missed the mark. It's just that they're not used competitively in a massive way. I'd argue that every single card, or at least almost every card in Digimon, is completely usable. Even if it's not a competitive powerhouse, there's no bad deck, essentially, you know what I mean? It has that liberty of, like, looking at the past 20 to 30 years of card game design and finding what works and what doesn't work and using that to make a good game. So there's a lot of viability on all tiers of play, essentially, so yeah.
Dang, well, you mentioned that, but then they completely failed at that objective.
What do you mean?
There's like a Black Greymon or something that came out, I think earlier this year, that they had the ban 2 days in.
No, that wasn't. Oh wait, hang on. I think I know what you're talking about. Well, we can talk about that if it. Yeah. So, a lot of the time, those kind of things are like, they were banned in the English version prematurely because they understood that there were a massive problem in the Japanese format and they didn't want it to be a problem in the English format, which I honestly really like. Like, I think it's a bad idea to force a format which is inherently broken. So, I think it's okay for bans to be done early on in a format's lifespan, just to make it a healthier environment. But, some people disagree. I think those people are idiots. But what do I know? I'm just an anime boy on the internet. Anyway.
Well, you must think I'm an idiot then.
Well, yeah, but I did that anyway.
Remember, you asked me to be here.
True. The thing is, by winning this game, or at least getting more cards right than wrong, this is your chance to prove that you're in fact not an idiot. You're gonna prove your smarts, your brain power. You're gonna be like, oh man, Elijah was wrong, and I'm gonna, damn, I guess I was wrong. You know what? Here, have a high five. And then we'll be like, well, you can't do that because you're through a screen. I'm like, you know what? That's true. Guess I was the idiot all along. And then we'll do a freeze frame, and like then the credits will roll.
But what if I am just a genuine idiot?
Well then, nothing will be lost, and everything will just be proven to be as the world intended. Anyway, so here's some game rules to keep in mind. So, use a deck of Digimon, Tamers, and Options. Those are your main types of cards. And you got to use those to destroy your opponent's 5 face-down security cards, and then you attack directly to win. The beginning of the game, top 5 cards of your deck are put into your security, and your deck is split between a 50-card main deck, no over or under, and a 0 to 5 card egg deck. Yeah, so at the beginning of every turn, you can hatch a new egg to your breeding area, or raising area it's sometimes called. You can make a joke about breeding if you want, it's up to you, it's Twitch. So you can hatch a new egg at the beginning of every turn, or you can move an egg out from your breeding area if it has already evolved into a level 3 or higher Digimon. Yeah, evolving or playing any cards costs memory. If you remember from that one time you played, memory is a gauge which is shared between both players, and it goes from 0 to 10, and back again when it crosses over the line. The turn ends when the memory gauge passes 0, and when all effects have resolved. So you can still finish off effects even then. You can pass turn early as well, but that automatically puts your opponent at 3 memory if you just want to pass turn, okay? You draw 1 card every time you evolve, so you always go hand neutral on evolution. All Digimon have summoning sickness, unless specified otherwise with an effect, or unless they're evolved into on a card already in play for a turn, or if they're brought out from the raising area prematurely. If a Digimon was hatched in the raising area and evolved, and you're able to get it out, it doesn't have any summoning sickness. But you know what summoning sickness is, right? From like general card game terms?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good. Digimon have either a main effect or an inherited effect. Inherited effects are given to cards they evolve into, and they can't use them themselves. Digimon range from levels 2 to 7, and they often have cheaper Digivolution costs than play costs. So yeah, they'll almost always be cheaper to evolve than cheaper to play. Effects can also be resolved in any order if the timing clashes, with priority given to the player. So if your opponent has an effect which would activate at the same time as you, the turn player's effect takes priority. And not like priority in like old school Yu-Gi-Oh rules though, which I've only heard rumors about, but they sound like a complete nightmare. But yeah. Also, you don't have any separate main or battle phases. You can, you have main draw phase, hatching phase, and then you go into the main phase. And in that main phase, you can attack, you can play cards, and you can evolve in any order you want. So you can attack and then summon if you'd like. And regarding option cards, the game's equivalent of spells. you must have at least one Digimon or Tamer card with which matches all of its colors in order to use that option card. So if you don't have any Digimon in play, you can't use it. And level 2 Digimon or egg cards, they can't exist in the battle area. If for whatever reason they end up in the battle area, they're instantly trashed by game rules. So it wouldn't activate any effects where it's like, oh, when deleted by an effect, it's counted as a rule deletion, you know?
Okay.
Is everything clear?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now, I do have a quick summary of the 7 colors in the game if you'd like to have a look at them. If not, we can skip past this. It's up to you.
Oh, go ahead for the people that don't understand.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So, yeah, 7 colors currently in the game. I can't imagine there'll be any more because balancing 7 is already pretty tough to do. Just look at Pokemon. That has way more than that, and it had to get rid of one of its types in order to balance the game out. They introduced Fairy, and then yeah, this was a terrible idea, and they got rid of it. Anyway, so 7 colors. Red is the first color. It's much like in a lot of card games, red is the hyper-offensive color. It's all about removing security as quickly as possible. It's just very high-power, rush-down-based tactics. They have a lot of burn effects as well to just destroy security with effects. They also, interestingly, have a lot of effects which negate security cards. So, an important rule is that when you attack security, oftentimes cards will have effects which activate during security. Red does have a lot of effects which stop those from working. And as well as having a lot of rushdown based abilities, they also have a lot of strong control effects with deletion effects based on an opponent's DP or digital power, as it's called, basically the power of the Digimon. So it's all based on Digimon's power level. Going on to blue, again, very, very reminiscent of a lot of the blue decks in card games. Blue, it's pretty much a versatile toolbox, it's just a bit of everything. A lot of resource gain and management, a lot of cards which draw, a lot of cards which gain extra memory to let you extend your turn. They can manipulate evolution sources as a unique mechanic, which lets you either remove evolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, or it lets you summon cards from your own evolution sources to get new guys on field. So very cool effects. And they also have a lot of multi-attacks. A lot of cards can restand themselves and attack twice or even thrice per turn. And they also have a lot of effects which let you bounce cards back to your opponent's hand as the main form of removal. So yeah. Yeah, again, just really versatile, a lot of stuff they can do. Yellow next. Pretty defensive but mostly control-oriented kind of color. It's all about manipulating your security stack, so they can heal you, they can swap cards out from security with cards in your hand, things like that, you know? So it's the heal deck, the heal slut deck, if you will. Also, their main control effects are some of the strongest, with a lot of DP-based reduction effects. So they can reduce an opponent's power level down, and importantly in Digimon, if a Digimon's DP is reduced to 0, they're deleted. Again, much like with the level 2s I mentioned before, it's counted as deleted by rulings, not by an effect, unless it says otherwise. Like, you can have cards which have effects which activate when they're deleted by dropping to 0 DP, so yeah. There's a bunch of stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, they're all about reducing DP to 0. And they also have some effects which let you summon low-level Digimon from your hand as well, which is nice. It's it gives the option to fill up your board still, even if even though they don't generally have a lot of stuff like that. Next is green. Mainly a stun and speed evolution deck. High focus on suspending opponents' Digimon. So Digimon can only be attacked when they're suspended, and you suspend every time you attack with a Digimon. So they can suspend them to stop them from attacking, and so they can slam into them. A lot of effects to manipulate evolution, so they can reduce Evo costs, even Digivolve for free if they want to. A lot of stuff like that, so they can ramp up really quickly. A lot of battle buffs as well. Their main way to remove cards is through attacking suspended cards, so they have a lot of ways to help them out in the battle phase. So power increases, piercing effects, that kind of thing, you know? And they can also return suspended cards to the bottom of the deck. So obviously returning cards to the deck bottom, powerful in any card game. That's why it can return them to it can return them, but only if they're suspended. Is that all right? And what the hell? Oh, that was the music I put in the background. Yeah. Next one is black. So yeah, black is the hyper defensive deck of the game. It's Unga Bunga beatdown a lot of the time. However, actually before that, yes, lots of blockers, a lot of abilities which manipulate your defensive presence, a lot of staying power as well. But they're not just beatdown though. They do have a really great variety of control effects as well. Mainly, they have cheaper effects which are de-digivolving. Oh, I got a Nightbot caught them. What does it share? I guess it was a bot. It was. Right, yeah, it was just a bot message. Never mind, it's okay. Anyway, yeah. Was it? Yeah, so black, hyper defensive, lots of ways to manipulate your defense and keep your Digimon on with some staying power and variety of control. You generally have two types of control in black. You have de-digivolving, which is generally a cheaper form of removal, which just reverts your opponent back one stage. The idea being that, well, it doesn't remove a card on board, so it can afford to be cheaper. And its other main control effect is deletion based on a card's play cost. So yeah, again, you have a play cost and an evolve cost. It deletes it based on the play cost for it. Lastly, second to last, we have purple. This is the obligatory graveyard color, right? Manipulates the trash, which is the graveyard in this game. So you can play from it, discard, recycle. You know how it works. The whole shebang of your discard pile manipulation, essentially. They have a lot of deletion effects, all based around a Digimon's level. So really wide variety of deletion they can do, very strong. And they also have a lot of cards which manipulate options. Much like with the trash in general, they can recycle options, they can play options for free a lot of the time, that kind of thing. And lastly we have white, which ironically is the black sheep of the game. I hope everyone appreciates my pun there. I worked for all of 12 seconds on it. Haha.
What, yin and yang?
Damn, that's actually way cooler. No, I was just thinking it's white, but they're the black sheep.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Yeah. Damn, you are cool, man. Ugh. If only I was half as cool as you. Ugh. Anyway. But yeah, white is basically the mostly special cards or special boss monsters, and generally they can be put into a variety of decks. They're largely finishers or options. They're kind of colorless cards in other games. So yeah. But yeah, they're cool. Anyway. Let's go. So, are you ready for your first card? Wait, is it the first card next? It is the first card next. You ready for your first card?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Here we have Greymon, one of the very first cards released from Starter Deck 1. If you would like to give it a read.
I'm waiting.
Oh wait, hang on. Are you watching my stream or not?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and
It's very behind.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There you go. Alright, so the inherent effect. Security attack +1. So whenever it attacks, security check is 2 cards instead of just 1.
That's right, yes. It doesn't have a main effect, just an inherited effect, so it passes it can't use it itself, but it passes it on to its next form. Do you think this card made or missed the mark?
It can digivolve on a level 2?
No, so level 2s are always your eggs. You can evolve into a level 3 and then evolve into a level 4. It can't evolve into a level 2.
Yeah, that card busted.
How so?
Because 2 security checks on 1 attack is already, what is that? What's
Double breaker.
the security pile?
Oh, there's 5 cards. 5 cards in
Five
security.
cards?
Yeah, 5 cards in security at the start of the game. Keep in mind as well, there's no life limit. Your life can raise higher than 5 if you're able to get it there somehow. But yeah, 5 cards at the start of the game.
Yeah, man, no, that card, especially early in the set, that card busted. It's 4K DP too, so it would beat over a majority of what's in the security.
Actually,
unless it's
4K is pretty low actually. So just to give you an idea of power thresholds, most level 2s have no power because they're eggs. They just don't have any power at all. Level 3 Digimon have between 1 to 3,000 power. Level 4s have between 3 to 6,000 power normally. And they kind of go incrementally like that. Level 5s have between 6 to 8, sometimes 9. Level 6s, which are like the Mega Digimon, they all have between 10 to mostly around 12 or 13,000 power. And then level 7s have between around 13 to 15,000 a lot of the time. So 4K is actually kind of just whatever for a level 4. It's pretty bog standard.
But it's the beginning of the game. Yeah, now it definitely wouldn't sit right because even that rainbow deck, the Digicross that I played, that was like instantly at 6K on like the second evolve.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. This card absolutely made its mark. So, Greymon. It is the mascot of the series. It's a really good thing they made it good. I can't remember where I heard this now, but it would have been a mistake if they made this card bad, right? Because like you look at Pokemon, in the Pokemon card game, Pikachu and Charizard have almost always been terrible. Only recently has Charizard been like an actual meta threat in Pokemon, and that's because it has its new Dark type EX version. But yeah, with some exceptions, they've mainly been pretty terrible. Greymon is a fantastic card. It's completely generic, and so it's able to give any red evolution stack a continuous damage stack, a damage buff, and the entire stack for no cost as well. It is just continuous effect, gain a security attack. So yeah, it's completely free damage boost. Also, because it is a level 4, it can be put into your evolution stack early, so you can evolve into a rookie like Agumon, then evolve into that, and then evolve into something else on top really, really quickly for very little memory. So it's pretty low commitment if you're not able to like get it in your stack, you know. And most importantly as well, it benefits from main character mascot energy, the mascot buff, if you will. Like I said last time with the Rush Duel thing, cards like Seven's Road Magician benefit from main character mascot buffs, so they get a bunch of support. Greymon's the same. Despite being released in the very first starter deck back in 2021? Yeah. This card still sees play, which is wild. It has not seen as much play recently, but still, like, and it definitely doesn't see as play as much as well in general red decks, but in Greymon-centric decks, this starter deck Greymon still sees so much play just because it's just so easy to just get extra damage with it, you know? Yeah, this card...
There's already better Greymons too, so that's why he kind of sizzled out, but...
Yeah, but even then, that's more in the general scheme of things. In Greymon-focused decks, which are running Red Greymon, it still sees a lot of play. Not as much as it used to, but still does. And even then, like, realistically, if this card it's on like set 18 of the game now, coming out in Japan, like, this card has still seen play up until this point. It's doing all right for itself. Like, realistically, in order for this card to see play, to not see play, there would just need to be a card which just objectively power creeps it. Like, I don't know, it gives security attack +1 for free, and it does something else. So yeah, great card. Good job, Bandai, making your mascot card good. Next we have our first Tamer. So Tamers function like continuous spells or field spells in Yu-Gi-Oh! You play them down on the field and they just stay there for the game. So yeah, if you want to have a read of this card.
So at the start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memories, set the memory to 3. So if your opponent tries to set you up with only one memory for your turn, this lets you reset to the usual average.
Yeah, exactly.
Main, if you have a level of 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to hatch one Digi-Egg card in an empty space.
Oh, sorry, I'll move my chat a bit so you
area.
can see a bit better.
Or move one level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding R to your battle area. Verbatim. Security.
Oh
Play
yeah.
this card without playing its
I spelled
memory
area
cost.
wrong. God damn it. Yeah, that should be breeding area to your battle area. But yeah. So yeah, start of your turn. It makes it so that your opponent can't choke you on memory. A lot of these kind of tamers exist. There's a lot of they're often just referred to as memory tamers. Very common effect for like 4-cost tamers. And they're very useful because, again, memory choking is one of the best ways to counterplay, and this card just kind of stops that. Or at the very least, it reduces it to 3, which you can still make a play with a lot of the time. So yeah. And its effect, it basically gives you a second breeding phase, so long as you have a level 5 or higher Digimon in play.
Yeah.
And also, security, a lot of tamers have that effect in security as well. They get played for free in security. I think all tamers have that effect, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah.
Yeah, all tamers.
Yeah. So what do you think? Made or missed the mark?
I don't know, this one's tough. I wanna say made the mark, but then I'm just thinking about the color and even thinking if that color has even seen any kind of play. Cause that local tournament, it was literally red.
Yeah.
What was it? It was red, blue, and a different color, but that was a control deck.
I see.
That was, I think I kept hearing Black Greymon
Oh,
on a regular basis.
Yeah. So you're just thinking about whether green as a whole is any good in general. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a pretty good card, but also memory choking. Yes, does it exist? But then you're only setting your opponent at a higher memory for them to do more. So at least memory choking isn't like a literal choke where you can't do anything, as in like Yu-Gi-Oh. You can still Digivolve for 4 costs, but except your opponent would be immediately at 3 if you had 1.
Yeah.
It's just you're not stopped from playing the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. If this card was early in the game, this definitely would have made its mark.
BT1, so it came out in the in the first booster set.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for you gave me 2 in a row to try to stump me, and this card actually made its mark.
So first off, I didn't say this before. All Tamer cards are based on human characters from the anime or the games or like the manga or whatever. So they're all like characters from the Digimon series. Moving on though to that, this card. Oh, hang on. Absolutely made its mark. This is one of the best tamers in the game. Still, it's so fantastic. Almost every green deck will run at least a couple copies of Mimi. So yeah, as I mentioned before, memory choking is kind of negated by it, at least to some extent. As you said before, if you need to make an evolution or a play for 4 costs, yeah, it doesn't stop, but it still gives the opportunity to carry on your turn and things like that. But yeah, this essentially just gives you a new hatching phase mid-turn, so it rapidly accelerates everything. And again, as I mentioned earlier on, when a Digimon is brought out from the hatching phase, it can attack the turn it comes into play. So it essentially gives you a card which can attack instantly. Also, if you have multiple Mimis on the field, you can do this effect multiple times in a turn. She does cost 4 memory mine, so I don't know if you want to have spend 4 memory every single turn to play multiple copies of her, but she can be used more than once per turn, so yeah, just the amount of speed and tempo she gives to green-focused decks. Even now, you said you didn't see many green decks there, but even now she's still used all the time in green just because she's so good. Absolutely fantastic card. Again, one of the best cards, best tamers in the game, really. So yeah, good job. You made it. You made it. You made it diagnosed. Give him a round of applause, folks.
I made my mark.
I was so in school. I made the mark.
I'm gonna get some water.
Moving on, though. We have our first option card. This is
Parts.
Seven Heavens.
Alright, let me get some water.
Okay, no problem. No problem at all. I shall have a sip of water as well whilst we're here. By the way, if anyone's interested, this is a cool, like, a lo-fi mix of all the Digimon World music. This is from, this is by Yoshi_UMR.
Yeah, you're making me read a lot today.
Okay, well, I can read in your stead if you would like. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't understand the effect unless I read it myself. I can read it for you if you want.
No, we're good. We're good. Seven Heavens.
Yeah, Seven
Your
Heavens.
Main. One of your opponent's Digimon gets negative 10,000 DP for, what is that, the turn?
Yeah,
Just
for the
got
turn.
blurry for me.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Security, activate this card's main effect.
Yeah, so if you crash into this insecurity, you can use this card for free. And normally it is 7 cost to play. You can see in the top corner there, which is a lot. 7's a lot of memory, but it does decrease something by 10,000. And again, if a card is decreased to 0, they're deleted.
But wait, do I assume that this is a yellow card, or?
This is yellow, yeah. Sorry, I've also put here yellow option.
Oh, there, it's all up there. All right,
Yeah, the color here is yellow, obviously, but I've just got yellow option here just in case.
Okay. I mean, by the time you get to something massive, that 10,000, subtracting 10,000 DP for the turn isn't incredible, but then that's an instant deletion card if anything is sub 10,000 DP. You're just giving me too many cards that made their mark, because this thing, there's no way this thing passed on and didn't do anything in the card game.
Unfortunately, it did just that. This card missed the mark. So, I'm going to explain why. It is high cost, but you were right. It's not guaranteed to remove high-level Digimon from the board. Which is not great if it's such a high-cost card. Not to mention that, like, because it's 7 costs to play, unless you already started the turn with a huge amount of memory, you can't exactly, like, use this and then beat over something, because your turn's going to be over. Theoretically, you could, like, reduce something's DP with another effect and then use this, but, like, it requires a lot of investment to do. Yeah, there's just way more optimal cards for that. So, just to a bit of history, within the first sets of the game, every color got one big removal option, which was, like, very costly but very powerful. Chief amongst these was Gaia Force for red, which was an 8-cost option, and for, they also all had the effect to be played from security for free. So all massive removal effects. Yeah, the chief amongst these was Gaia Force. 8-cost red option, it could delete any card on the board. So, like, when you could just use that, and it's guaranteed to work for just 1 extra memory, why would you use Seven Heavens over Gaia Force? And it's like, well, yeah, there's just so many cards which are more optimal to use. Gaia Force was so good, in fact, that in early yellow decks, people would just run 4 copies of Gaia Force in case they got it into the security, and maybe they'd run like 1 or 2 red Digimon or some red Tamers just so they could use Gaia Force from their hand, because deletion of anything was just so much better than potential deletion with Seven Heavens. But yeah, every card got one. Blue got Kakaitis Breath, which bounced any card on the field back to your opponent's hand. Green got Terra Cluster, which returned any suspended card on the field to the opponent's deck bottom. Purple got a card called Trump Sword, which also for 7 deleted any one of your opponent's unsuspecting. Are we back? I think the internet did die, yeah.
I just heard you.
Hello, we back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think my internet just randomly died. I don't know why that happened. But we're here. Yeah, my OBS disconnected as well. Everything just went kaput there. Don't know why that happened. What a shame. Okay, well, I better I guess I better reiterate everything I just said. What did you get up to in my explanation?
You might just want to skip over because it was everything.
Oh.
it was everything after red.
Okay, yeah, basically, 7 Heavens, just to quickly summarize, 7 Heavens, there's no reason to use it when there were so many, when now there are so many more optimal cards, and even at the time there were. Red had the best removal option in the game in Gaia Force, which just, for 8 cost, deleted anything on the board. So, there's no reason to use this when you could just use Gaia Force. Even mono yellow decks would run Gaia Force in them, in case they got it in security, just because it was so much better than 7 Heavens. Yeah. 7 Heavens just kind of... even at the time, people could tell that, well, why bother with you? Ultimately as well, this got power crept by a card called Wyvern's Breath, which was yellow, 8 cost, deleted something by 15,000... No, reduced something by 15,000 DP, so, yeah, just a better card. Have I disconnected again? Okay, I'm going to stop stream for a moment, and then I'll get back to you. One moment, hang on.